From murder to manslaughter to even theft. Some crimes are just too shocking for us to handle, but despite that, we have our very own eyes to thank for being able to witness these events unfold before us. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at some of the most shocking crimes caught on camera, so let's get started. Our first crime is a murder. This video actually comes from a security camera outside of a house in Brazil, and it shows the moment when a man was shot dead by a policeman. The incident happened in 2017 in the city of Diadema in Sao Paulo. In this video, we can see the victim walking down the sidewalk. He's wearing a blue striped shirt and he's walking with his girlfriend. Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, a cop appears and points his gun at the man. Without hesitation, the policeman shoots the man 4 times right in front of his girlfriend. As the man falls to the ground, his girlfriend screams for help. At first, the policeman tried to run away, but then he came back. It seemed like he wanted to make sure that the man was really dead. To make matters worse, another policeman arrived, and he also tried to flee the scene. Both policemen were later arrested and they were charged with murder. This case highlights the police brutality that exists in Brazil. According to official data, more than 6,000 people are killed by the police every single year in Brazil. That's more than anywhere else in the world. Our next crime is a kidnapping. But before we get into that, if you're enjoying this video so far and you want to see more videos like it, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Also, if you want to see some more interesting videos, then check out the links in the description below. Now let's get back to the video. In 2014, this shocking footage was captured in Colombia. A man in a motorized wheelchair was pushing his son in the other direction when 2 kidnappers walked past them. They didn't know it yet, but those 2 men had actually been following them for quite some time already. When the 2 men stopped to talk to someone, the kidnappers saw their chance. They snatched the baby out of his stroller and ran away. The father immediately chased after them, but they managed to escape. Thankfully, the baby was found safe and sound not long after the kidnapping. However, the kidnappers were never caught, and the motive behind the kidnapping remains unknown to this day. Our next crime is an assault. This video was filmed by a doorbell camera in Russia. We can see a man walking up to the door and ringing the bell. He looks like he's trying to sell something because he has a big smile on his face. But when the door opens, everything changes. A man and a woman stand in the doorway and they start arguing with the salesman. The woman pushes the man away and then she closes the door. But then a few moments later, the man opens the door again. And this time things get very physical. The man throws the salesman to the ground and then he starts beating him. The whole interaction was actually filmed in slow motion, but I sped it up for this video. What's crazy is that the man kept on hitting him even after the salesman passed out. At one point, the woman tries to calm the man down, but he doesn't listen to her. Instead, he keeps on punching the poor guy. Eventually, the police did arrest the attacker, and according to reports, the man only attacked the salesman because he thought that he was trying to break into his house. Our next crime is a robbery. You may think that you would be able to tell if a stranger was following you or not. You could probably tell if they were 20 feet behind you, but what about if they were just 3 feet behind you? Well, it turns out that most people can't tell if someone is just that close. And that's exactly what happened to this woman who was followed by a thief for several blocks. When the woman finally realizes that she was being followed, it was already too late. The thief snatches her purse and then runs away. She immediately starts chasing after him, but there's no way that she was going to catch him. The entire thing was actually caught on her body cam, which is something that many people now have on their phones and other devices. Although it's scary to realize that someone was so close to you the entire time, at least she had her wits about her and started chasing after him. If she hadn't done that, the thief might have gotten away completely. Our next crime is a hit and run. This incident happened in Bulgaria where a driver deliberately mowed down protesters with his car. In this video, we can see hundreds of people standing on the street. They're protesting the construction of a highway that will go through protected forest land. All of a sudden, a man behind the wheel of a silver car decides to drive straight into them. Several people are knocked to the ground and the car even goes over one of them. After the car hits the protesters, it backs up and drives away. People can be heard screaming in the background. It's unclear why the driver mowed down these people, but authorities did eventually find him. It turned out that he had mental health problems. To this day, he's still awaiting trial, but he's locked up in a psychiatric hospital. Our next crime is another robbery. In 2018, this crazy incident was caught on surveillance camera in Argentina. A man in a store is putting some cookies in his bag when a robber walks in. He points a gun at the clerk and demands the money in the cash register. But the owner of the store wasn't having it. He grabbed a pole and started swinging it at the robber. They say that 2 wrongs don't make a right, but this man didn't care. The robber backed away with the gun still in his hand, but the owner kept on coming at him. At that point, the robber had no choice but to fire a warning shot. That seemed to scare the owner a little bit, but he still didn't put the pole down. At one point, the robber actually drops his gun. Then he grabs his gun and runs away. The owner then looks down at the gun that the robber dropped. He picked it up and handed it over to the police. The robber, on the other hand, was never found. Our next crime is a carjacking. This terrifying incident was recorded in South Africa. A man can be seen walking towards his car when two armed robbers appear. One of the robbers points a gun at him and they demand that he gets on the ground. Unfortunately for them, the man is a former police officer. When one of the robbers went to search the car, the ex-cop took his chance. He tackled the robber and they started fighting. Meanwhile, the other robber pointed his gun at the man and threatened his life. But despite that, the ex-cop managed to disarm the first robber and beat him with his own gun. At that point, the second robber started backing away. The ex-cop then gets up and chases after him. Meanwhile, the first robber is on the ground and he begs the ex-cop for mercy. What's really crazy is that during the fight, the ex-cop was actually shot, but he still managed to disarm both robbers. Both robbers were eventually arrested and the ex-cop was taken to the hospital. Thankfully, he recovered from his injuries. Thanks for watching. What do you think about these crimes? Let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure to look around and leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video.